This next project was more of a genealogy type of project. So this gentleman, he actually lives in Los Animas and came to our studio several times while we were working on this project over several months, because he was still compiling all his information. So he brought us several 3-ring binders. There was actually 2 or 3 before this collection, this last set. And so again, we can work with however you bring it to us. And what he did is paper clipped all the pictures into the 3-ring binders, and his wife did all the typing of the captions. And what he wanted us to do was create a video production, so something again to watch on TV for his family. It told the story of his ancestors coming over from Germany, and then his parents were some of the first missionaries in Africa. So a lot of the story is about their times and experiences there and having children and sending them back to the U.S. And then it ends with him and his brother modern day and their families. And so he originally wanted us to create this video production of it. So it's probably interesting to you of how do we take this print material and make it into a production. And you can also see that a lot of the pages were just full of text. So that's a lot of text to add into a video production. And then he also brought in lots of CDs with appropriate music for that different era in the production. So there's, and we'll get to hear it, some German type bar music at the beginning. And then there's a lot of African drums, you know, when they were doing their different stints in Africa. And then there's also hymns and more modern music in the different sections. So we'll take a look at a piece of that so you can see how they handled, or how we handled all his information. So you can kind of see we just had it scroll on the screen when it was a larger amount of text. And so that was a nice project, and partway through the project I got him convinced to also let us produce a book for him. And so now, oh, and the video production wasn't just 1 disc worth. We can get about 2 hours onto 1 DVD. His is about 3.5 hours long, and so that we have the 2 discs with his productions on them. And he had us use different photos that were pertinent to that kind of era of what was the material on that disc. But then this book is all his information that he had in all those 3-ring binders and what's all in the video production. And so a copy of this book was made for each of their grandchildren, and extras like for the library where their parents, you know, kind of started out, because it's got a lot of the county history in it as well. And so that was a really nice project and a nice treasure of something to give for later generations to really tell that whole story, especially being the first missionaries in Africa.